This is WRAL News, your #1 source for local news.
We begin with breaking news right now. Another inmate has escaped from the Nash County Detention Center. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Catherine Brown.
And I'm Gerald Owens. This comes less than 2 months after 5 inmates escaped from the same facility in March.
29-year-old Terrell Miles looks like this, but does not have the long hair at this point. He shaved it off this past weekend before the escape. Now, in just the last 2 hours, the Nash County Sheriff held a press conference. That's
where we find WRAL's Rosalia Federa. She's in the breaking news tracker. Rosalia, tell us what's going on there with the search.
I just got off the phone with the Nash County Chief Deputy, and he tells me 29-year-old Terrell Miles is still on the run. Now, like you said, this comes after just 2 months after 5 other inmates escaped the detention center. Now, the sheriff's office tells us Miles stuffed some type of material in the lock of a door that leads to the exercise yard. Once he was out there, he pushed out the bottom part of a fence, escaped to a passageway, ran, and then hopped a 6-foot fence. Now take a look at this picture again. This is Miles's booking photo. And again, he did shave his hair over the weekend, so he does look a little bit different. Sheriff Keith Stone says Miles was in jail on charges of aiding and abetting an armed robbery, illegal possession of a firearm, misdemeanor larceny, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and reckless driving. Sheriff Stone says this is similar to the inmate escape in March, but changes were made after that incident.
There has been precautions taken since the last time. This is a similar escape issue with the back door and the fence. However, the last time the individuals were on a rec yard and being monitored by a camera. Now there is nobody goes into the rec yard without a staff member there. So that has been taken care of on that end. But however, preliminary investigation shows that the lock was malfunctioning or the lock was deliberately sabotaged so that it would not work correctly.
Now, Sheriff Stone says they're following all leads, and they do have the help of a Highway Patrol helicopter to help them look for Miles. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. Back to you.
Rosalie Federa, live in Nash County. Thank you. Trees down, power out, homes damaged in minutes.
While I was in the pantry, I heard a crash, and the whole house shook.
Cleaning up the mess left behind by a powerful tornado.
And I look to my left, I see a big swirl start swirling real fast.
And when I looked out my sliding glass door, I saw coming, and trees were just waving and almost touching the ground in the back.
You always think this happens to somebody else, but not you.
A powerful EF2 tornado blew through eastern Wake County and western Nash County yesterday.
But today, many families are left with devastation to their homes and communities.
Winds from the tornado ranged from about 86 miles per hour to 135 miles per hour. Nearly 7,000 customers lost power in Wake County at the height of the storm. Wake County's Emergency Dispatch Center received more than 60 calls in the first hour of the storm.
WRAL's Julian Grace is live in Zebulon tonight, where volunteers are trying to help out those homeowners who are impacted. Julian?
Catherine, I can tell you, Baptists on Mission, they have walked the path that the storm took yesterday, and taking trees that have fell down like this and turning them into this, little pieces of wood that can be hauled away. Now, these are crews right here. They've been working away. They've been out here all afternoon. Here's some video from earlier today. 4 teams of Baptists on Mission walked all over Zebulon and Wendell, passing out flyers. The volunteer group provides their cleanup services for free to homeowners. This came in handy for the Smiley family, which is facing about $10,000 worth of damages. Baptists on Mission volunteers made it clear their goal is to serve.
That we are here to help them, regardless of who they are, and that we're here because we have been blessed. God's blessed us. And we're here to try to help people going through a rough time.
All right, as you can see, once again, the group is out here working away. They will be out here until the early evening. They are still passing out these flyers as well, making sure every homeowner who needs help can get help. Gerald?
Boy, great to see that outpouring of support. Julian Grace, live in Zebulon. Thank you.
Well, it is incredible just how powerful a storm like that can be. So how does it actually form?
Meteorologist Mike Mays is here to explain. Mike?
Well, we talk from time to time about how the ingredients come together to form tornadoes. We see risks issued from the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, while the ingredients were there yesterday to form a tornado. Now, if you remember seeing that Wendell video where we showed the winds in the lower levels moving in one direction and then above that the winds were moving in another direction, that's the way we saw the wind set up yesterday. And when that occurs, we start to see a little rolling happen in the atmosphere. Changing the wind direction with high causes this horizontal rotation. Now, on a day when there are no thunderstorms around, this is harmless because there's nothing to pick this up. But as we go through with a thunderstorm coming on in, with the updrafts with a thunderstorm, the winds pick up this horizontal rotation, create a vertical rotation, and if it's strong enough, the winds aloft are strong enough to form that tornado, you see it develop. You see the funnel. Now, what determines if it's an EF0 to an EF5? The jet stream aloft. And the stronger the jet stream aloft, the stronger the suction is to pull up this vortex and to make the spin go by. Yesterday's tornado was an EF2 in spots, ranged from EF0 to EF2. Now, coming up, we're going to talk more about where we saw this tornado touchdown in the path and also talk about the departure of the coolness that we have right now. It's in full weather coming up in a few minutes. Gerald?
Okay, Mike, thanks.
And I'm Monica LaLiberty in the Live Center with breaking news about a multi-vehicle car crash involving a school bus. Take a look at this video from a helicopter. This happened about an hour ago in Stanley County, that is just east of Charlotte. According to initial reports, paramedics are treating at least 17 people. One, we're told so far, airlifted to a hospital. It appears the crash involved a small truck, a pickup truck, a small SUV, as well as that Head Start school bus. And that typically means it serves children age 5 and younger who are from low-income families. It is not clear at this point how many of the patients are children. The Highway Patrol is investigating. Back to you.
All right, Monica, thank you. New developments right now after a local pilot was arrested in connection with 3 murders. The American Airlines pilot lives in Raleigh. He was arrested on Saturday at Louisville's International Airport in Kentucky. He was wanted in the murders of 3 people in Christian County dating back to 2015. WRAL Sloan Heffernan live at RDU with the latest information in this. Sloan?
That American Airlines pilot never made it back to RDU. He was arrested while on the job. We want to show you his mugshot. He was actually in his captain's uniform when he was booked into jail in Louisville, Kentucky. He was arrested at airport security before boarding a flight there. Martin is accused of killing Calvin and Pamela Phillips and another neighbor. 2 of the bodies were found in a burned out car. One of the victims, Calvin Phillips, had been scheduled to testify against Martin in a court martial. Martin was charged with abusing his wife and stepson. The stepson had photos of the injuries.
He would abuse me, like beat me all the time. He smacked me around, punched me, whatever. So I was out mowing the lawn one day, and I made the line a little too crooked, and he started smacking me around for it and told me I was doing it wrong.
If convicted, the pilot could face the death penalty. Coming up at 5 p.m., we will talk to the son of 2 of the murder victims, at 5:30 p.m. tonight on WRAL. I also spoke on the phone this afternoon with the attorney who represented the pilot during his court-martial for child abuse. He told me that the pilot is an American hero and has a clean record, even though he was found guilty of child abuse in that court-martial. Back to you.
Now, Sloan Heffernan live in Raleigh at RDU. Sloan, thank you.
Durham police need your help to find a hit-and-run suspect. Investigators say 27-year-old Jose Luis Baltazar hit a woman who was riding her bicycle on West Club Boulevard earlier this month. The woman is still in the hospital in critical condition. When Baltazar is arrested, he will be charged with felony hit-and-run and driving with a revoked license. An arrest in a triple shooting in Raleigh. Officers charged 18-year-old Justin Brown with 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Police found the victim Sunday near Old Coach and Iron Horse Roads. That's in northeast Raleigh off Buffalo Road. Witnesses say they heard gunshots coming from a car. The 3 victims are expected to be okay.
It's primary election day in the 9th Congressional District. The district stretches from parts of Cumberland to Mecklenburg County. WRAL's Gilbert Bays is live at a polling site in Fayetteville where turnout has been very slow today. Gilbert?
Well, let me put SLO in perspective for you. This is Cross Creek 11. There are 600 residents who could vote here today. I was told that 4 residents voted early, and today 27 residents have come and cast their ballot. Now, this is a Republican primary election for unaffiliated voters and Republicans. There are 10 Republicans on the ballot. Democrat Dan McCready, who lost to Republican Martin Harris by just over 900 votes, not a part of this primary. Now, Board of Elections Director Terry Robinson originally estimated the primary election would cost taxpayers here in Cumberland County $90,000. That's in Cumberland County alone.
But we have cut some costs based on what we felt like we would need in certain areas, and hopefully we've brought it down to a little bit less, maybe around 60 or 70.
Now, some larger metropolitan areas and places like those close to Charlotte will pay even more. The cost here in Cumberland County is based on operating 20 of the 77 county precincts that are part of District 9. Now, there will be an election, another primary election in November, or general election, depends on how it turns out. Today, what do the voters think about this? Catherine, Gerald, we're going to have that coming up for you at 5 o'clock.
All right, Gilbert, thank you.
Security flaws could allow a hacker to break into your phone and your computer.
Still to come, we will show you the technology upgrades you can make right now to protect yourself.
Also ahead, a local middle school student accused of attacking an employee. We'll show you what happened in the lunchroom.
Plus, the Hurricanes' good luck charm, Hamilton the Pig, will be at the game tonight to cheer on the hockey team. We'll show you how the Pig's fame has been growing ever since the beginning of the playoffs.
This is WRAL News.
We are receiving new details about 2 important security flaws that could give hackers control over your phone and computer. WRAL's Brian Schrader tells us who needs to update their software and how.
It is time to update WhatsApp. Developers found a problem that lets spyware turn on a phone's camera and microphone, scan messages, and even get user data. And that spyware can be installed without your knowing it. Hackers can simply call your phone, and even if you don't answer it, they can install that spyware. WhatsApp has issued a statement encouraging you to update to the latest version of the app and make sure all of your system security patches are up to date. Another security issue affects Windows users who have NVIDIA graphics cards, which are popular for gaming. The company's display drivers have some serious security vulnerabilities. They could give hackers control of your computer and any personal information you have on your machine. NVIDIA is fixing the problem. They're rolling out software updates. Double check and make sure your drivers are up to date, and you can download the updated versions from NVIDIA's website. I'm Brian Schrader, WRAL News.
Duke's Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett will likely be picked back-to-back in the NBA draft tonight. But the big question is, where will they land? We'll find out tonight around 8:30. As of right now, the draft position odds are in favor of the New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Phoenix Suns. All 3 of those teams have a 40% chance of getting a top 3 pick and a 14% chance of getting the top overall pick. Whoever gets Zion could totally flip a franchise.
Absolutely. I think either team to get either of those players will be happy. An update to a controversy over city parking fees during the Fayetteville Woodpeckers games. The city council endorsed a plan to cut the $10 fee in half, so it would be $5. And that's after they received a lot of complaints. Leaders adopted a resolution that allows the city manager to implement a revised parking plan.
The Carolina Hurricanes have a chance to bring it back tonight.
They have to. They are down 2-0 to the Boston Bruins in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, here's a live look from PNC Arena. Looks like they're getting all set up. Fans will be heading down there to tailgate pretty soon. Game 3 starts at 8 o'clock tonight at PNC. We checked a short time ago. Tickets are still available, but they are expecting a sold-out crowd tonight. As you can imagine, we'll have team coverage tonight on WRAL.
It's going to feel like hockey weather out there tonight.
It feels like that out there right now. A little chill.
I was in a little sweatshirt this morning.
I was watching Rosalia, and she's got no sleeves, and I'm thinking, she's got to be cold. Because I knew you'd be cold out
there.
there.
Well, she lives in Massachusetts, so she's fine.
She's tough.
She's all right.
Yeah, she's from that area. But anyways, yeah, a lot of us needing the jackets today. And if you're going out to the Canes game, you're going to be tailgating this evening. Maybe opt for a jacket. Take a look at our Canes tailgating forecast. Partly cloudy, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Temperatures running in the 60s. And you think, it's not all that bad. But when you combine the wind out there, you're going to make it feel a little bit on the cool side. Now, let's transition back to our tornado coverage. Now, we're still waiting the full survey from the National Weather Service. They were out there this morning finishing up their survey. They didn't finish it last night because it got too dark. So So hopefully by the end of the day today or this evening, we'll have the update. But this is the possible path we're talking about. Began at Rollsville Road and then ended over into western Nash County, just to the east of Murraytown. And yesterday, the dual Doppler 5000 was able to pick up on the debris ball, that blue dot that you see over near the Wedgwood Estates, Lizard Lick. That's where the debris ball, remember we were tracking that tornado over Orange County back on April 19th, Good Friday. We saw a debris ball on the radar. The same thing happened, and there you see, that's where the tornado was seen on the radar near Lizard Lick, and of course, Zebulon is down the road just a piece. Just wanted to share that with you. Let's talk about the April-like chill. Feels like April out there with temperatures running in the 60s for a lot of us this afternoon. We see the clouds over Wake County. We'll explain why those developed. We were expecting them, but there's a little mechanism that helped them to pop up. Our dew point way down, 40 degrees. It feels great. 64 the current temperature out at RDU. So far, the highest we've seen has been 66. And temperatures have ranged from 61 at Oxford at this hour, 66 Southern Pines, 72 at Fayetteville. So feeling like early April. Now, this morning, we started off with full sunshine. And then on the visible satellite picture, you can see how the cumulus clouds bubbled up. What's going on? Well, we have that upper level low up to our north. The air is cooler aloft. When the ground starts to warm, there's a bigger difference between the ground and the air aloft. So it creates instability, hence you get these clouds. And as soon as the sun starts to go down and the ground temperatures or the low levels begin to cool, we'll see this mechanism cut off and it'll clear up and it'll be completely clear overnight tonight. Now up to the north, we still have our influence. It's the upper level low. The winds aloft are coming in from the north and west, so the cool air flow continues. But as we go through the week, this shifts out. And off to the west, we have a big ridge that's starting to form. And I don't like ridges of high pressure in the summertime because they tend to bring heat, and this one will likely do it. And it starts to warm up tomorrow. 73 in Raleigh is our forecast high, 75 at Fayetteville, still comfortable, 70 in Roxborough, and Goldsboro, you're at 73. So tomorrow is a warmer day, but still feeling pretty good for May. But we're going to be jumping into summer by the time we head to the end of the work week into the weekend because of that ridge of high pressure, and we'll talk so much more about that in the next half hour. So heading out this evening, grab a jacket by 9 o'clock, 58, by 11 o'clock, 54. At least the winds tend to die down, and it's very cool tonight. All these numbers happen toward daybreak, 46 in Raleigh, 48 Fayetteville, 44 at South Hill, 42 at Roxborough, so you definitely need a jacket if you're cool-natured, 53 by 8 a.m., 60 by 10 a.m. We warm up, and as we warm up, we start to see those clouds form once again. So tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy up to the north, partly to mostly sunny to the south. We'll have a west to southwest wind, and that will help warm us up. And the warming continues. Now, we mentioned this yesterday that there were divergent forecasts for this weekend. Now the European is jumping on the American bandwagon. It's a good thing because we think we have a good bandwagon here in the U.S. And it's coming in line with what the American model is saying, bigger heat for the weekend. Your pool opens this weekend, doesn't it?
It does.
Look at
I'm looking at that.
Perfect timing. Upper 80s to 90 degrees.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect timing. I think you're going to like it.
All right, Mike, thank you. A local investigator, retired but still finishing up one of his oldest murder cases.
Coming up, we'll explain his final act on behalf of the victim's family.
And a father's ritual with his 6-month-old daughter in the hospital to keep her spirits up. What he does that will truly warm your heart. That's coming up in What's Trending.
Tonight is all new on WRAL. At 8, it's an all-new episode of The Village, followed by the live semi-final eliminations on The Voice at 9. Then don't miss the season finale of New Amsterdam at 10 and WRAL News at 11.
Time now for a look at what's trending.
And for the first time in 25 years, Hershey is changing the look of its iconic chocolate bar. Not the taste, the look. Each section of the chocolate bar will now feature an emoji. The new Hershey's milk chocolate emoji bar is set to be released this summer for a limited time only. Each emoji was selected by parents and kids to feature those that may spark a conversation and make new connections.
That's kind of cool. I like that. Well, the parents of Charlotte natives Steph and Seth Curry will have to flip a coin tonight to figure out who to cheer for in the NBA game. Their sons are the first siblings to face each other in an NBA conference final. Seth is also a former Duke guard. Dell and his wife Sonia decided that wearing a split jersey with the Warriors and the Blazers would just be too easy. So instead, they'll flip a coin before each game to decide which team they'll be representing. Dell himself played in the NBA and works as a TV analyst for the Charlotte Hornets.
So the parents can't lose because someone's going to win.
Yeah, that's got to be tough, though. You know, when Peyton and Eli Manning would face against each other, I was like, that's got to be tough.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, how awesome is it? It has both boys in the NBA.
Yeah. Good for them.
PBS is still airing episodes of the classic cartoon Arthur, and this week they broke ground in the series. In yesterday's premiere episode of the 22nd season, one of the main characters, Mr. Ratburn, came out as gay. The episode features Arthur, and the gang is shocked to learn about their teacher's engagement. People on Twitter are celebrating the news, quickly making the topic Mr. Ratburn one of the top 5 in the U.S.
All right, this story is going to melt your heart, truly. A father and his 6-month-old share a touching heartbeat ritual to say goodnight at the hospital. Take a look.
You ready? All right, Daddy's getting ready to go. Let's see. I'll see you later, okay? You gonna do it? Yeah. All right.
Oh, wow.
What a sweetie. She has a rare condition called AFM, only 6 months old, and clearly she understands exactly what is happening there, the bond between her and her father.
6 months old.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her. Still ahead, some car buyers choose an extended warranty for protection. Is it a good investment or a waste of money? Live on Your Side will answer that question.
Plus, a Cary Middle School employee knocked to the ground in the lunchroom. What the school is now saying about a student's outburst.
And a young boy killed in 1998 and a break in the cold case. We'll show you how a retired investigator is stepping in to finish what he started.
And as we head to break, here's a look at today's closing numbers on Wall Street.